Hello. Welcome to the Saturday stream. Yeah, it looks like it. Something in that area. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, I don't know. Tuesday or Thursday? Who could stream on a day like that? Starts with a T. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. But it does not. It's a Saturday. It doesn't start with a T. So yeah, why not stream? It's 11:30 a.m. Start up the old Kench 909er live stream. It's going to be a lot like every other stream. There's going to be some flying around with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. There's going to be massive amounts of Diet Coke, whatever the heck this is. Here, you can read it. I can't say it. Which apparently is, you know, it's kind of a hot button issue for some of my viewers. Reminds me of how every time we watch Mistress Mord, when I watch her, whenever she streams and I'm awake, she's hitting that vape thing, and boy, that brings in all the people talking about how bad she shouldn't vape. It's bad for her. No, please stop vaping. And she's always like, "Well, you pay me $10,000, and I'll also quit vaping forever." No one's taken her up on it yet, but I still think if you paid her the $10,000, how are you going to know? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, boy, I'm going off on all sorts of weird topics. Yes, we have a freshly poured glass of Diet Coke. Thank you, Diet Coke Corporation of America, for still not sponsoring me and sending me even one case of free Diet Coke. After all this time I spent demanding that my viewer base immediately stop watching me go to the store and purchase a beautiful blue Bluetooth controller. You probably won't be able to find this in a store. First of all, I had to get it online. How you doing, Science? It's beautiful. It's blue. It's a Bluetooth controller. All right, we got our glitch sign on. We have the love Lego. Ow. We have the Himalayan salt lamp. It's all powered up. So is my Fender amp and my Fender shirt. I'm matching today. I got my Fender amp. You can see the Fender logo multiple places today because it says Fender logo. It says Fender logo there. And if you look real carefully, it says Fender right where my finger is on the headstock of my Fender Telecaster guitar. Kind of cycling around to the original electric guitar. I mean, it's not the first one I bought, but this is kind of the first electric guitar that was widely manufactured, available to just anyone to buy at any store for not an arm and a leg. They were like $150 or something. They were much cheaper than the Gibsons and other electric guitars at the time. And we'll talk about that more. But this is it's a one of a kind swirl pattern on both sides. Pretty cool. They made a bunch of these at the Mexican factory in like 2011 or something, 2014, 2013. They made a couple hundred of these. They're all unique. And I got one of them, one Telecaster and one Stratocaster. They don't look anything alike. They have a similar color scheme, but they're real different looking. But what I liked is that you can buy a factory, and they were like $50 more. It was $550. What I liked is that you can get a completely unique, one of a kind factory finish, you know, from the factory. Well, this is, you know, but then I made a bunch of modifications to it. I replaced this pickup as a replacement. This whole pick guard got replaced, and I put a different pickup in there. I changed the tuners, our lock and tuners. It's just a lot. We'll talk about that more. How does it sound? All right, so what are we going to do in the game today? I don't know. But then there'll be some big brain games. It's going to be roughly 2 hours of streaming. I'm planning on doing at least one, probably two kind of flight missions today. I don't know. I had in my mind, and Hobie got put this in my head, that if we fly over Maine or certain areas of the United States, we should be seeing a lot of fall foliage, fall tree colors, orange, yellows, golds, and, you know, mixed in with some greens there. And so maybe we just fly around a bit in places where I think they're well known for fall. I think Vermont or Maine, some of the Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, some of that area, because I don't really fly around that area too much either. And the other thing I want to do is operate my Osprey because it's a great plane. But for flying around Vermont, I don't know if the Osprey is the right way to go. By the way, you saw there really quickly. There in the opening video there, they definitely show fall trees. I mean, we saw the you know, the orange blossom or the cherry blossoms in all right, so this here is Maine, right? There's Portland, Maine right there. But I'm thinking a little inland there. What might be interesting? I bet some of these places have real Mo. He's being a little Mo. I see planes traveling around here. Saratoga Springs sounds like a place. It might have, I don't know. We're gonna find out. Okay, what are we gonna fly in? Something that I enjoy flying. There's a couple things. It's gonna be a jet. We haven't flown a jet. Mo, Mo, what are you doing? Mo, he's trying to eat the mirror. Mo, what is wrong with you? All right, I'll let you go in here. He's really wants to go in here. You go in there, Mo. He wants to go in the garage. He wants to go in the garage. He thinks there's a whole nother world in there. He's always disappointed. He never spends more than 3 minutes in the garage. And he's just like, this is stupid. But boy, he's a cat. He's an older cat. He's starting to get a little fixed in his ways. All right, what are we doing here? Are we going to run the Fuga Magister, or are we going to run the F86? Where's my F86? Or are we going to run the Caproni? This one, CaproniVizzola. Yeah, because it's just a great little plane. All right, what's our configuration today? i.e. paint job. We'll go with white and turquoise. Yeah, why not? And it'll load up just fine. We're gonna cold start it from this airport that I've never been to before. Well, I hate this bug where you have to go back to the place you were. I mean, it's possible to find it, but I guess they want you to choose the plane first. All right, so Saratoga, not the runway, a ramp. I love the cold starting. It's actually just pushing a few buttons. 2 jet engines on the back of this plane, or very small, 2 passengers, sort of a sport plane. Doesn't really have a mission where you can get you from point A to point B, but that's fine. Hopefully that is not an issue, that visual issue. I think we're in the correct place. Looks like a beautiful day. Is it Vermont, New Hampshire? I don't know. I'm going to find out in just 1 second here. That is a good question that I'd like to know myself. It's upstate New York. Saratoga Springs is upstate New York. It's close enough. It's a good location. Okay, so I got that up in case I want to see it. All right, let's get in here. Look at this beautiful plane. It's small, it's sporty, and it's got, again, it doesn't have any propellers because it's got 2 jet engines, 2 little jet engines in the back. So it's it's got to be expensive to run. All right, let's get in here, look around here. First thing we're gonna do is open up the canopy. Just get a little flow through air there, and I like the way the canopy opens on that strut. It's pretty cool. All right, let's see, master battery and stuff like that. That's the battery master. We're gonna have to turn on. Let's see if we can get closer up here. Turn on the radios in a second. First thing we're gonna do is open both those shut-off valves. Let's see, make sure that we're running. Okay, there, looks good there. And the air brakes should be closed. That's closed, very good. Don't worry about that for now. Now we can basically start the right engine. Master on. Fuel pump. I think you don't have to hit that button. It starts up there. And then we can turn the right generator on. Right. Similar over here. Left master on. Left boost on. Wait for it to come up to speed. It already comes up quite quickly. There we go. Starting to come up. There's a little exhaust there. You can hear those engines start to spool up. I love this plane. It has a lot. Anyway, okay. Left generator on. Now we have engines running. So now we're going to insert some instruments on. We turn actually landing lights off, navigation lights on, strobe on, turn coordinator on, attitude coordinator power. So now the attituder, it's basically a gyro that has to spin up there. We're going to turn each of the radios on. 1, 2, there's 4 radios, backup radios, etc. We'll turn on our altitude alerter and that, well, let's take it. Our DME. This is all looking good. We're coming up to pressure there. Anything over here we need to turn on? Pitot heat, we probably might want that on. Parking brake on. Let's leave it on for now. Everything's good over there. All right, we're moving along. Let's fly around. I don't want to spend too much time on the ground. This is some little airport in the north of New York State. North part of New York State. In fact, if we go further north, I guess we will hit Vermont and or New Hampshire, from what I know of the area. But we're a long way. But I can already see fall coloration trees in the distance. Success already. That's all I wanted to do was see fall coloration trees. But we're going to see them from an air angle. All right, we're taxiing to the runway. All right, do we get a little power here? All right, parking brake is off. There we go. We're moving. Which way do you want us to go? I'm going to think it's that way, but I don't really know. It's probably the other way. It's this way here. I'm thinking. Runway 32. I wish it would tell me which way runway 32 is. Usually there's those little green things. Well, we'll just go down here and take off. It doesn't really matter that much. And again, I don't even know exactly where we're going. I imagine there's a town of Saratoga Springs, New York. Because that's the name of the airport. And do remember me to put my canopy down pretty soon. In fact, we're really not to go over about 25 knots with the canopy up. All right, how do we put the canopy down? Can I put it down from here? No. Got to reach way over my head. Hit the canopy button, right? All right, come down. All right, we're locked. Canopy locked. I hope this is the right runway, but I don't know. It's a runway. We're going to find out in a second if it's 32 or the other one. Or 04. Looks like it's runway 04, but that's fine. Oh, well, maybe not. Hard to tell. Yeah, 5, I mean. That's fine. We're taking off the other way. It's fine. All right. So what we want to do is get ready for takeoff. So we're going to line up here a little bit on the runway. For parking brake on. So I'm setting my pitch trim, and it's got to be quite a ways set into about, around there, 20%. And flaps to about the second position, about 4 or 5 degrees there. So the flaps are on the back of the wings. We're now in takeoff position. We're going to announce takeoff, depart straight out.
5 Bravo 2 traffic, KNSH 909.
Yeah, runway 5, runway 32. What's the difference? One's one direction, the other's one. We don't care. All right. So get the engine spooled up with the parking brake on. Let them come up to speed. There they go. Release the brake. We're at 103% torque, which is, in other words, takeoff power, which is a little bit more than you want to have for more than a minute or two. Okay, there's our airspeed indicator coming on. We're at 60 knots. Rotation's right around 90 knots. We're at 80 knots. 90 knots, rotate. Comes off the ground quite quickly. Gear up. It's a nice system of gear doors to make a very, very fast a profile, very speedy profile. All right, now let's check it out. Again, the time of year affects the tree coloration quite greatly. So if it's winter, everything might be white here, and the trees might be quite bare. In summer, the trees are all going to be green, and we're seeing the fall coloration with reds, yellows, and that's what we came for. Later, we're going to do another. Trip probably in the, this is beautiful though. Now this, all right, what's our speed? 88. All right, we're gonna slow down to about there. Just want to see what this is here. If you can tell what it is. So it could be a small factory or some kind. It's not that big. It's right next to this airport. But yeah, man, we're seeing plenty of those trees. Okay, we're going to go back to 0. We're going to reduce our takeoff trim now. And you hear from that wind speed that this plane starts getting going. Beautiful day. Got a beautiful windscreen here. It's great for some sightseeing. We're going to check out all the little lakes in the area. But before we do, I'm actually going to do a short pause. I have the map up of Saratoga Springs. So, okay, that's Saratoga Lake, not Lake Saratoga. Where is the airport? There's a race course. There's a Walmart Supercenter. There's a cannabis distributorship. Oh yeah, Saratoga County Airport. So yeah, due east is where everything is. But I think we're kind of heading that way, right? No, due east. All right, this way. That way there. All right, we're gonna head over to Saratoga Springs. It's due east to the airport. And that is Saratoga Lake. No, I was going to say it's Lake Saratoga, but that's not what they call it. But yeah, the trees look great. I'm trying to stay low. This plane wants to fly high. That's fine. Reducing power a little bit so we can stay low to the ground here. And mainly because I just want to see the tree cover. See, as we get to the kind of slightly higher altitude, you see a lot more pine trees, which are deciduous, so that you can stay green. But like on that side, it's a very different kind of tree cover. I think that's really cool. So yeah, so not everywhere has these fall colors. All right, so I was flying. I saw this on the map. Is this a school? Let me just check again. Oops. 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 Okay, I saw this on the map. Is that the race course or is it a school? There's a race course. Okay, we headed due east. But no. This is the Saratoga Casino Hotel. It's not a school. It's down here. It's not a school. It's a casino and a hotel. And I believe Saratoga is famous for horse racing, right? And this is the, right here, I think, there's a couple of horse tracks, but this is the famous one right there. And you're right, one of the Triple Derby, one of the Kentucky Derbies is Sarasota. I don't remember that for sure. Beautiful area, gorgeous. But it's interesting how you can see, we can even see from the air, certain areas have extreme fall foliage. And other areas, and they're kind of demarked by a line, so I don't know how accurate that is. So you can see a lot of the trees are basically green here, although there are some trees that have the fall coloration. But then when we cross over this line over here, it's going to change dramatically. You can see it from here. So the trees here are, I guess, look like mostly pine trees, and then we cross over this area here, and suddenly they become, maple and oak style trees. Oh, you got home from the Epic Journey. This is Saratoga Springs, New York, upstate New York. And I'm here because I'm looking for the fall foliage, which we found. So this area definitely has the autumn tree effect. You got some red, you got your yellows, you got your purples. It's not exactly the same as the cherry blossom trees in Japan. But I'm just loving that we do get a lot of these, a huge swath, I bet. And the thing is, yeah, I figured there was most, like the northeast and the north part. We don't get a lot of fall colors. California does, but it's not like this, where you just get these huge forests of color-changing trees. You just get a few trees here and there that are brightly, differently colored. Oh, some electric path there. I'm just kind of flying around the same airport. This is Saratoga Springs Airport. And I'm flying in my beautiful CaproniVizzola C-22. It is one of my faves. Twin engine jet. Lightweight, fast, and fun to fly. Nice and quiet because it's got those jets. But you see right by the airport, I was already seeing it when I was on the ground. I'm like, yeah, we got some serious fall foliage here. And yeah, as I was saying, oh, that's like that nice little development there. As we go, okay, that's the airport. There's just development here. One second here. There's the airport. Saratoga County International Airport. This is technically a town called Milton. Right here. Looks pretty nice. Actually, they're getting a lot of fall foliage. We're going to go south, I think. It's a gorgeous day. Gorgeous day. I have live weather turned on, I believe, and live time of day. So it's 3 hours later than for me. So it's about 3 p.m. there. But we're just going to check out kind of all the these little suburban areas. I don't know where the nearest town is, or maybe it might be Albany. I don't know, but I do have a map open. You could probably tell me that. Yeah, it is Albany, and then we're heading there. So Albany is due south of Saratoga Springs. You can see that's a cool looking thing, whatever that is. Wait a minute, is that it looks like a school because it's got a it's got that the school kind of thing. I'm trying to see. We're following the road south. We are going to hit Albany. Why not? I just want to see if I can see this school on the map. Clifton Park, Olive Garden Restaurant. I don't know. Okay, well, I won't know until we cross the river exactly where we are. It looks pretty though. All right, so we're traveling south. I think these roads should get us to Albany. And there will be definitely a city to see once we're there. So that'll be nice. Trying to stay low, but plane's nose wants to go high. Now we're in a jet and it's fast. That's good. But yeah, we're enjoying a lot of this fall foliage. Yeah, as I was saying, if we come back here in the winter, it could look quite different. There could be snow on the ground. The trees could be bare of their leaves. And in the summer, it's just going to be purely green in spring. So is this a river or is this a lake? I think this is a reservoir, and I believe there's going to be a dam at the end of this, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't really know where I am. But there's a boat there. Maybe the dam's on the other side. I wouldn't think so. I think the dam would be here if it was a dam. Okay, so there's this area here. We're still basically heading south. What's a park in there for some reason? Let's see what they're parking for. Maybe those are actually, I don't know, car storage lot, really. And okay, so there's the river, which I was looking for. What river is this, by the way? It's the Hudson. It's just kind of, eventually this river does head to, that river down there heads to New York. But Albany is going to be here. So let's fly over Albany first. We got lots of beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fall foliage on display today. Northeast, excuse me, of the United States. It looks like a golf course. You got your sand traps. Looks like a pretty big one too. I can see, I believe those buildings are, right. That's ahead. Is that buildings up there? I think that's Albany. Albany is the state capital of New York, right? Okay, and that's an airport. Oh, hold on a second. I just want to make sure I know exactly where I am. Okay, so there's the thing in the river. Where is the airport? I don't think that's Albany International Airport, so I don't think we're quite at Albany yet. Albany is on, International's on the other side. I think it's further down. So I just want to kind of figure out where I am. There's a little airport there. And it has that layout. Interesting. It's not quite the same as Albany International. Yeah, we may have to fly around. I'm looking at my Google map over here, and I'm not 100% sure. I know for sure where I am, but I have a feeling it will become clear if we just keep moving. Yeah, okay, so there's another airport there. Although the interesting thing is it doesn't show up on the as an airport for from flight simulators purpose. Okay, so I think actually the Hudson is down that way. This is a different river, right? It's the Mohawk, I believe, according to the maps. Trying to learn something here. Okay, so there's a bridge there, and there's a little island there, and now we should be heading kind of west. This looks like a solar farm, maybe, something there. There's a bridge there with a bridge island. Okay, this should not be that hard to figure out. Yeah, we may have made it all the way to Schenectady. I'm starting to think. Which is a little further on than I thought we were. But Schenectady is west. Yeah, because we're starting to go south, right? West, and then there's this turn there. Okay, yeah, this is Schenectady. I cannot pronounce it, but that's not Albany. But it's close. So we're gonna make a turn around here. There's not that much up the Mohawk River. Some factories and stuff. There's an aquarium up there. That's an aquarium, I guess. Just look at the map here. Yeah, I probably haven't. I think you've mentioned it before, and I'm always like, yeah, I don't mind. But it probably would be handy, so that I don't have to do 2 monitors and go, oh, where exactly am I again? But yeah, Schenectady is this little area here, not Albany. Although it's got some cool buildings. But okay, so we're gonna go up the river. There's the Riverboat Casino here, and where is Albany then? Okay, so Albany is kind of southeast of here, but so we're gonna kind of cheat it. So I don't want to go too far. We're gonna go across over there. Right. Schenectady is on the Mohawk, but Albany is actually on the Hudson. So that's why I was kind of getting confused there. I know that I look at the map. I mean, they meet up, and the Mohawk meets Schenectady a little further north. And I believe we can now see Albany, our original destination. The other thing to do is, if I know where I'm going, is to set a destination, and then I'll have a nav point, you know, on the map, on the navigation map. But this, I always like just like kind of discovering stuff. Ooh, look at that escuela. It's got everything you want in a school. Looks air conditioned too. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. Albany, New York, and we'll land around there. But yeah, this area is between Schenectady and Albany is probably pretty suburbanly occupied. But again, I'm loving it. It's a late afternoon flight. We're seeing lots of this fall foliage, and that's what I wanted to see. I'm gonna stay nice and low and enjoy the fall foliage. I will check try to, maybe after the stream, I'll see if I can do it. It's basically, yeah, it's just a thing. It's a little window you can download that shows you where you are. As opposed to this thing, I mean, which really doesn't show you the flight planner. I mean, you can set it to have a map. So, you know, once I looked here, I can kind of see where Albany Airport is, which I'm heading for. And I can see where Albany is, which is this direction. So we are heading there. We're going to kind of go over the airport. Oh, there's a power station or something here, or radio towers. I don't know. Well, it'd be... Oh, that's the other thing, right, to check the videos. Okay, so that's the Mohawk River, which eventually runs into the Hudson, and then eventually goes south. We're basically flying over, I believe, the Albany International now. That looks like the right layout, which is still west of the city, but you can kind of see where we're going now. Right. Yeah. Okay, so here's Albany International, which we'll be landing at once we fly around Albany a bit. And yeah, basically it's, yeah, we're gonna have to go south. I just want to see if there's a like a government building. Oh, we're going slow. Speed up a bit here. Like a government building, because Albany is the seat of the New York State government. I don't have my brakes out or anything, do I? No. I'm doing 190. So yeah, starting to get lots of traffic in the area. And again, there is some discontinuity in this with the way the satellite maps. Hey, can you see him as he's wandering around? Oh yeah, he just jumped up to his throne, his spot up there. Yeah, there's Mo. All right, he's doing fine. He's getting up there. I am seriously behind on my Diet Coke consumption. All right, we approach Albany, New York. When we do, we're gonna stop the plane. We're gonna get into our magical parachutes. We're gonna jump out and take a look. So like this area doesn't seem to have as much as the fall foliage. Then if you can see kind of that direction there, you can see a lot of fall foliage in that area. I'm not really sure how they just differentiate it, but it's just the thing with trees and Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay, so this is the Hudson River. So it meets up with the Mohawk somewhat north of us. I guess the Mohawk feeds into it. The Hudson River is quite a mighty river. And hopefully we can figure out where the state building is. I'm sure I can figure it out on the map because I have my map up. But here is the downtown financial district. I don't think we're going to see any large stadiums, but you never know. Like medium-sized stadium. Oh, okay. I already see some nice looking buildings here. So let's see what we got. Right below us is a really cool looking building. I better find out what it is. In Albany. So there's the MVP Arena. The Egg, that's the Egg, okay. The Empire State Plaza is what you're looking at here. Oh, let's get out of the plane, take a look at it. All right, so this is, okay. That's the Egg temporarily closed. This is called the Empire State Plaza with these buildings, very dramatic, with these 4 buildings here, and lots of water. Right, the Egg is temporarily closed. There's the MVP Arena, is that one over there. And then the building this is really dramatic looking building here. What is this? This building here, right here, is called the New York State Capitol. This is the capital of New York. I did not know. I figured it would have had a dome. You know, I would have figured it to be a domed building, but it's not. That's what I figured it was important because it's really cool looking. But yeah, this is the New York State Capitol. This is the Grand Government Building with tours. We should probably read about the tours and find out how good the snack bar is. It's an imposing Renaissance revival seat of New York State government. Free tours on weekdays. So it's closed today. Yeah, it is. I mean, I always think of them having a dome, but it could be old enough or something where they just didn't do a dome. I'm trying to see what these other buildings are. Right, there's the Capitol Park on the east and west. So there's 2 parks. There's one on the east side, one on the west side. And this one here, this imposing building here, is called Chancellor Hall, right there. I also think it's an older government building. All right, let's get back in the plane and fly around some more. This is really cool. I like this Empire State Mall or whatever they're calling it there. Okay. And seeing what the arenas are. Oh, there's our plane. All right, everyone pile back in. Get back in. Use your magical parachutes to ascend magically back into the plane. That's close enough. And there it is. It's cool. It's kind of got that very planned look to it. That is a train station right below us. I'm too high. But again, if we go far south enough on the Hudson River, we will hit New York, but it'd take a while. Like it'd be like at least an hour flying. So there's the Capitol building and the State Mall, the Empire State Mall. Of course, New York is the Empire State. And at the end of that Empire State, is that a museum? I want to see what this is here. At the end of this mall, whatever it is, the Empire State Plaza. Oh yeah, this is the New York State Museum. So I don't necessarily know what's in there, but it looks like a museum because it's a museum. And there's a church and cathedral next to it. That's the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception. Yeah, sure, she was a virgin. Yeah, we all believe that. What they do at that church. All right, let's see. Here's a train yard. Let's go down the river a little bit. We'll probably see some nice industrial things. Actually, you know what? What time is it? Yeah, I might want to have a second flight, which means we have to land this puppy. So we're going to go land it at Albany. I do want to have a second flight. Because while this was a very satisfying flight, we don't have to see the whole world every single flight. All right, we're going to head back up north, and we're going to land at the Albany International. All right, so the only thing tricky about this plane is that it's, in order to get it slow enough, do I see comments? I try to, but I could be a little slow. It could be there could be a delay, and because my stream does not, is not based on me chatting and responding to chat. I mean, it's nice, and I hope people will chat and say hi, so thank you for saying hi. But I do miss comments occasionally, sorry. But it's only because, you know, I have to assume that I'm not going to have a lot of chatters, and so I have to kind of be blabbing the whole time. At least I like to. All right, head north back to the radio. Yes, you please do ask me a question. Ask me a question, and I will do my best to answer it as accurately as I possibly can. All right, we've got to get a lineup here. When are we going to start to work on a lineup? Okay, we want to go to the left here. I'm looking at this map. This will show us how the airport. We want to be landing to the north. So I'm going to come around here. But yeah, you can ask questions again. I mean, the worst thing will happen is I won't answer, you know, I'll miss it and answer a little bit later or not, you know, so. So yeah, I mean, you know, everyone likes to think that they're going to answer all their chats if you're a streamer, but realistically, you're going to miss things every now and then. Okay, so we're going to start. We're going to have a good lineup here. So one thing I'm going to do is start putting some flaps down. That'll help us slow us down. But even more importantly, I need to start putting out the wing brakes. The wing brakes are these. You can see it down here. There's this control here, so that's about 50% brakes, and between the captains, and that will slow us down quite nicely. And without that, the plane's just too fast to land. It's just so slick. All right, we're going to have a lineup here. We want to maintain over 100 knots for our descent here, but it is about time. You see, I'm going to flip this red dot here, this red knob here, landing gear, and we should see those lights to the right of us turn green shortly after that. I think they're green. Oh, no, landing gear. We're going too fast. There we go. Landing gear finally started coming out. Yeah, really. You know, you're gonna get your ass banned pretty quickly in most people's streams. But you know, thanks for coming by anyway. All right, full brakes, most flaps here. Going to flaps there. So you see the brakes and the flaps work together on the back of the plane. But yeah, you know, we didn't just fall off the turnip truck over here. You might think we did. All right, so full flaps and full of the brakes. The brakes and the flaps kind of look like they're working in concert, which they are. And then reducing the power even further, so we can fly. It's a nice long runway, so we can kind of glide over, which we're going to need to because we're going too fast to actually land. You want to definitely be landing at under 100. But again, without the brakes out all the time. Oh no, we didn't just fall off the turnip truck though. You know what I mean? Which is probably, you know, kind of a surprise to most people. All right. A little bit of a bump there. A little bit of a bump there. We're applying braking. Braking is successfully slowing down the plane. That's a good thing. We're going off thinking, it's a little hard. I like to not wait. Where's the terminal? I thought the terminals are over here. Terminals on the side. Control towers on the other side. What is my life story? What would I give to a teenager starting out, man? That's a deep question. Wow. I don't like to give advice to anybody. I mean, you know what I mean? I didn't take a lot of advice when I was a kid. So just do it. Just do it. You know, there's a Sinatra song. It's called My Way. You know, and at the end of the life, you may not have made all the decisions correct every single time, but you did it your way. But the important thing is to make your own decisions, make your own call. Even as a teenager, I think that's good advice. And don't assume that adults know more than you do about what's right for you. Any adult. So it's kind of silly. Boy, we got some beautiful trees over here. I kind of want to head this direction. I'm hoping to get some backdrops here. But, you know, my life story is not that unusual, really. I, you know, was born in a middle-class part of Southern California. What was my way? Well, you know, I went to school. I got a degree in mathematics and computer science from UCLA, and that was a really good thing to have. You know, so, you know, pretty much didn't worry too much about getting a nice job because, you know, that degree looks good. But I don't know if I'd recommend that to people today because I'm not sure a university degree means as much as it did before. But I don't know. That's, again, a personal call. Like how much school, like I think that would be kind of an important thing as a teenager. How far do I want to take the school? You know, I had an opportunity. I got a degree from UCLA, and I had an opportunity to go to get a master's degree at Stanford. I got accepted there, but I didn't go because it was expensive, and I wanted to start working. So I went to work at Microsoft, which was a very small company at the time. All right, we got our thing open here. Let's see if we can actually. Oh, there we go. All right, it's a little higher up. What a gorgeous plane! And there we are, hanging out in there. But as I say, I think I basically did it the way I wanted to, though. You know, as I'm saying, I don't really think I took a lot of advice necessarily. Let me get a nice dramatic picture, maybe facing up of these guys. It's got to look like a plane. Actually, maybe, you know, we don't do a lot of these. You can see that we can see that. You can see the cockpit layout. That looks pretty cool. Absolutely. Hey, man. No, absolutely. Questions are always appreciated. And if I didn't want to answer them, I would say thanks anyway. You know, I wouldn't answer. But that's about as good as your advice as you're probably going to get from somebody asking random strangers on the internet what you should do for your life. But, you know, hey, I mean, not, you know, random. I mean, I'm pretty cool. I get it. You know, some of you might want to grow up and be like me and have stuff, you know, and a cat. I don't know. I would not necessarily recommend it unless you're me. So, okay, we're going to have another little flight. This is going to be another short flight, but that's just the way I roll. So we're going to go to the main menu. That was good. I really enjoyed that. But the reason why we're going to have another short flight is because I like to keep my skills up. I have a lot of planes. A lot of them fly quite differently. So what I wanted to do was, yeah, there you go. If you like to play guitar and you like planes, then we definitely have similar interests. And mine have stuck. I still like to play musical instruments every day, and I still like to. We're gonna see if we can land on an aircraft carrier. With my Osprey. So we're gonna search for FC03. Which is in Sidney, Australia. So we're going to fly a little off the coast of Sidney, Australia. And we're going to land our asses on this carrier, which is in the water. How far is it out? It's about 20 miles out. That's good. That's fine. So this is Sydney. We're going to take off from... let's see. Where do you want to take off? We'll take off from somewhere where we can... thank you. Okay, good question. I stream 5 days a week. So every day around the same time, except for Tuesdays and Thursdays. My time is 11:30 a.m. For you're in England, so it's going to be 6:30, 7:30, something like that. But always the same time. So if you happen to pick me today, now if you're on Twitch, or you can hit the follow button. If you're on YouTube, you hit the subscribe button. It's free, and basically they're the same thing. It basically means you'll get a notification when I go live. If you're on, if I'm that kind of thing. If you want, let's see, where are the major airports? There's Bankstown. That's kind of far away. Isn't there a major airport nearby? I mean, I know there is, right? That's not. Where is it? Oh, it's here. All right, we're going to take off from here. And we're going to land at FCO3. Where'd I put it? Here. So we're going to set this as arrival. That way we'll have a navigation system. It's how far? 41 miles. That's not very far for an Osprey, isn't it? We'll see. It's nighttime. We're gonna switch that out. I'm probably gonna make it an evening. I can change the time of day with the magic, with the stroke of my wand. I guess it's like 3 in the morning or something. But I like to be able to see things. So we are going to change the time of day. Let me just get that done. Also, the Osprey doesn't have good internal lighting, inside lighting, so it makes it easy. Okay, so real time, but we can turn that off and go to afternoon. Perfect. All right, so there we are. Our engines are working, right? We have an engine system issue here. Oh, no, the engines are starting up. Very good. Hold on. Wait, why am I moving? Brakes. Parking brake. Alright, I gotta check to make sure I can operate themselves. Alright, so yeah, perfect. Okay. Alright, so in the Osprey, that's what it looks like. This is a wild plane. Well, I already did a little flew around Albany, New York, but this is Sidney, Australia to an aircraft carrier, which you probably don't have. It's a Miltech aircraft carrier. We're going to take off, short takeoff. We're going to fly over Sydney, and then we're going to fly over water. It's about a 10-minute flight over water, so I want to get going. All right, I just want to make sure everything looks here in the green. Yes, we got everything good here. So I have a foot pedal arrangement that I can use to change the angle of the nacelles, which is pretty cool. But we got to get in the air before it gets too dark. Okay, so let's see. So full power. Parking brake off. It basically lifts up. We can start putting our nacelles forward. So I'm moving the nacelles. There, you see they're moving forward. Oh, gear up. Gear's coming up. Flaps are automated. We're continuing to move our propellers towards the forward position. And shortly you'll see they'll be moving completely down there. And then we're going to reduce power. Ooh, I almost overpowered there. You only get 30 seconds of over torque, about 103%, which is only needed for takeoff. Beautiful. I always like flying at these late times. We're going to fly over Sydney, and then we're going to fly southeast to this aircraft carrier, and then it's going to. Oh, you have the Miltech. It'll take me a hot second. We're not going to be landing. We're not going to try to catch an arrestor cable. We're going to. Speed a little slow. We're not going to. We're going to turn into helicopter mode and land flat on the deck. If I can. I haven't done it in a while, and I have not done it in 2024. I used to do it a lot in 2020. But before we do, since we're right by Sydney, beautiful city of Sydney, Australia, we're going to take a little brief fly over it. We're at 221. Looks pretty good. And hopefully we'll be able to take a brief glance at the Opera House, which is in the bay here. It's kind of behind all these buildings. Sydney, Australia, boy, it's looking good. It's very smooth. I got loads of million buildings, including a lot of custom buildings. There's a little bit of jerkiness there, but I think the Sydney Opera House is kind of behind this to the right. You'll see in a second. We're gonna come in nice and low over the Opera House. That's the city of Sydney back here, and we're gonna buzz the Opera House. 220 knots. It looks pretty good, especially from any kind of distance. But when you get right up close, I've landed right at that little thing there. It does get a little jerky. Beautiful Sydney Opera House. And there's is that a submarine? No, is that a submarine? No, it's just an island. It was really funny. Yesterday I went out, was flying around We went to Grand Canary Island, and there was this amazing offshore oil drilling rig that had flames coming out of it. I just, there's so much weird stuff you can discover. Anyway, there's Sidney, Australia. We're going to head out southeast to this aircraft carrier. Let's see how long it's going to take. The other thing I love about the this Osprey is, as I always like to say, it rides like a Cadillac. It's very smooth. Thank you, and you have a good day too, by the way. And as I like to say, one of the reasons it's smooth, I mean, it's got those huge propellers beaten. But one of the reasons it's smooth is because it doesn't have the wings aren't that heavy because the fuel is carried low in those side bulges, and that's a lot of the weight of the plane. Well, by the time we do land, it might be kind of dark. Not dark, but dark enough that it might be a little tricky. It's going to be after sunset for sure. A little tricky to see this. This carrier, but at least I know exactly where it is. It's a really cool carrier too. I mean, it's got a lot of cool things. The military carriers, they have a working, elevator system, so you can taxi. I don't think this plane would fit there, but you could taxi to an elevator and then have it go down and then taxi your ass into the lower storage area where the hangar, the hangar is pretty cool. So there's Sidney behind us, retreating. All right. So now I can see, basically I look at that upper little round thing, that kind of pink, that magenta line represents the flight path. And when we do get to that thing and get on, I'm going to set the autopilot. It's like a 10-minute flight. It's a little on the boring side, but you know, it'll be enough time. We're going to talk about the Osprey a little bit. I didn't cold start it today. It's a really fun, interesting cold start procedure. But when assuming we do hit the deck correctly, I will do the folding, where we fold the wings up and fold the propellers up, which you specifically want to do on a aircraft carrier so you can store it in the hangar. For storage in the hangar, but it is designed to fold up on an aircraft carrier. And Marines operate their own aircraft carriers. They wouldn't operate these. They have their own special Marine aircraft carriers. And they are designed. Some of them are just designed for the Osprey to operate. Okay, what's our altitude? I don't want to be this high up. Come on, let's be down like around 3,000. There we go. Just keeps wanting to lift the nose up. It's going too fast. All right. So now we're pretty close to the navigation line. That's the eastern coast of Australia receding in the distance. All right, so how does the I also want to see if it works correctly, because one of the times I used the autopilot, since it's recently been updated, it had some issues. First, you're going to put it on arm, right? Wait, did I put it on arm? Arm. There we go. So now we want to set our heading, which is 127 degrees. So we set this in here, 127 degrees. Our speed to about 212 is good, and our altitude to whatever it is now. It should hold our heading. All right, it's armed and active. Active is what we're looking for. Okay. We wanted this to be a little bit less. All right. Okay, 211, 5,400. What are we at? We're 6,300. So we want to loosen altitude here. We want to get back down to about 3,300, 1,000 feet per minute. Okay, so I'm setting the autopilot to go in a specific direction, which is 131. Let's see if we do better if we do one of these. There we go. 131. We want to be heading a little left of that, so we're going to set it to about 125. Speed as 215 is really a good cruise speed. and we're heading to 3,300 feet at minus 1,000 feet per minute. We're currently 5,600 feet. And, okay, it looks like we want to head even a little bit further left. I could set it to a course mode, in which case it would just follow that navigation. But I find it just easy enough to use our head just to set the heading. We'll find it. We will, you know, again, we can't miss it. It's directly at the end of this whatever this pink road is here. All right, we're losing 1,000 feet per minute. We're heading to 3,300, and that will I believe that will automatically switch to 3,300 hold. I'm not 100% sure about that, whether that is the correct thing. The other thing I've never used the autopilot for is you should be able to auto hover, use the autopilot to hover. But I've never tried that. I should get to know what it is. I believe we can see our destination there. It's a group of ships that are out there. So I think we could start to see it. There will be quite a few ships. There's a big one and a bunch of little ones. Cheers, everybody. By the way, I'm about to consume some Diet Coke. So if you're triggered by that, warning, stream warning. All right, we're still at 1,000 feet per minute, so we got another minute or so of descending here. Actually, I wanted to descend even more. Let's go to like 2,200. But yeah, that is our destination there. I'm about to go off autopilot. We'll just fly the plane. Because you got to be low a certain altitude before you go into hover mode, or you'll be hovering forever. You'll be descending forever in hover mode. But what I'm going to do is fly around it a little bit, and then we're going to go into the hover mode and hopefully land like a helicopter. It's not that easy. Now, the good news is this carrier is not moving. It's called a static carrier, which makes it much easier to land on. The moving ones are really hard to land on. There are moving carriers, and they're static carriers. These are the static ones. And yeah, I don't think I would attempt to do the moving carriers unless I knew for sure I was going to be good at landing on a static carrier. And again, this is the first time I've done this in months. All right, so we want to be lower than this. I think I'm going to go off autopilot. Let's go off autopilot and fly the plane. All right, flying the plane. I'm going to start putting these little nacelles up a little bit, but not too much. About there. And during this part of the flight, that's the maximum. Okay, the maximum is about there. During this part of the flight, we're basically descending, but we're still flying like a plane. We're not a helicopter, but again, we're also like a plane that can go kind of quite slow compared to how we were going before. Man, it's definitely an aircraft carrier. If I can land anywhere on the deck, I'll be happy. But there is a spot you can land on, you know, like a helicopter landing pad, as well as arrestor cables. That's the other thing we do is whip out one of our one of the World War II planes, or even the F-18 or F-14 that has arrestor hooks, and try to do the whole landing, arrestor hook landing thing. I find it kind of boring, but I mean, it's fun. But once you've done it a few times, I prefer sightseeing. We're gonna kind of fly low over the do a little pass here. That's what it looks like from here. How are we doing? 147. And the point is, when I'm gonna make a turn around. When we stop, when we go into helicopter mode, you don't want to be too high up. Like even a few hundred feet is good, because because you can only descend at a certain speed. There is you see the arrestor cables, lots of stuff on there. So that's where the normal place is. And it's has to load up all that stuff, so there's a little jerky there. But it looks great. Okay, let's turn around. So let's see. I want to adjust my nacelles even a little bit further up. There they go. And we're going to make a turn here. That's kind of a coordinated turn with the rudder. We're at 800 feet. I still want to lose some altitude. I am putting it down the gear because I like to do that early. All right, so from in here, oh yeah, good. We can oops, the other way. We can start putting our nacelles almost vertical. So we're getting to a point Where's our thing there? Beautiful. We're getting to a point where we can basically start flying like a helicopter. So at some point in about a few seconds, you're going to note that the cells are basically vertical. And I'm using my controls now to keep us up. So we're going to be very careful here. I'm going to just try to put us down on the deck, but where on the deck, I don't know. Got a little something jerk there. And more power. We're basically hovering. It's going to be cool because the deck's going to start lighting up at night, I think. And more power. This is what it looks like from out here. Pretty impressive, really. I'm going to try to land kind of here. No more power. We're hovering just a few feet above the deck now. I want to make a nice, gentle landing. Well, gentle landing. That's about as gentle as I can make it. And we are on the deck of the aircraft carrier. Not too dramatic. See, this is the, I mentioned this right here. We got to move this down to here. Very good. All right. This here, you can barely see it, but that's the elevator. I don't know if we're going to be able to get on the elevator and have it work. But we'll find out. I think I have my control panel. There's several elevators. No braking. Over the edge here. Alright, that's as close as I can get. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn off the engines. We're going to fold the thing around. I'm going to see if we can get down the... We can't start it up again, but it's going to be pretty cool. Alright, so to fold the plane, again, we got to do this whole thing. It's a whole little ballet. The first thing we do is move those cells back up to the 90 degrees. So there they go. They're making their way up. This is going to be a beautiful night. Alright, so what is this? It's 89... 90 degrees, right? Hey, what's it at now? It's at 92. Okay, that's fine. 89. I want to be exactly 90 degrees for this operation. Okay, so now we can start. We have to turn off the engines, and we also have to turn on the APU. So that's going to turn green in a second. The APU is a small engine in the wing. Okay, so we can engage that. Now we're going to turn off our main engines. So that's these two things, off and off. Okay, so now both of these are going to start turning off. Should be okay. We'll have to see how this goes. We're going to turn our rotor brake on. This is this little thing. It's like a helicopter's got a rotor brake, and so does this guy. That will slow the rotors down quite a bit. There we go. Come to a complete stop, please. Very good. Look how beautiful the colors on this aircraft carrier. So I'm trying to get it so we can actually go down and check out the hangar deck. But before we do that, we're going to fold up. All right. So now, okay, did I turn the rotor brake off? All right, okay, rotor brake off. So, okay, we go into the system page. We don't need this. System page, BFWS, request full stow with rotor lock. Okay, so what it's going to do, it goes through this little computer-controlled dance where first it rotates the rotors to a specific spot so that they can be folded, and then locks them in a specific spot. All this is done using a hydraulic power that's being powered from the APU. Everything is done hydraulically. So it's going to turn around. It has to make it basically a full turn to get to this lock position. But this is the most. This is real. I cannot land and not stow my thing. Okay, then it has a flaps thing. So the flaps were all the way down. Now the flaps have to go up, so that they're in the horse. Those be on the back of the plane. Okay. The next thing is the propellers are going to fold. This is really the most dramatic part. The propellers fold, and they actually fold. 2 of them fold into the other one. One of them doesn't fold, the other 2 do. It's a very unusual mechanism. And then the nacelles are going to move forward all the way, automatically. All this is an automated system. As you can see, it's kind of going through a sequence there. I can see the nacelles coming down there on that side. I kind of look over on the side. The nacelles are coming down. And then once they do come down all the way, that's when the wing is going to turn. So once they do, I feel like we will be able to get into... Actually, I should see if I even have my thingy, though. Where is it? It's Super Carrier. Let's see if this thing works. Okay, so there's controls. Where are we? We're on this. We're on the front right elevator. In a second, I'm going to hit that button, and it takes a while. These elevators aren't fast. But you can see what it's doing is it folds up so that you can pack a whole bunch of these in the hangar. So you would fold it up on the deck, then take it down, and then the issue is once it's down, they tow it into the hangar. They use a tow bar. The plane wouldn't need to be turned on. This plane obviously cannot move itself into a hangar with those giant rotor things. You know what I mean? And it wouldn't need to. Looks like we might be bumping a little bit. I can't go backwards. We might be bumping the front. We'll find out. All right. So if I click this button here, that should activate the, and it will make the thing kind of jump up and down a little bit. Okay. Yeah, but that does activate the elevators. This bug where the planes jump up and go down, they don't go down smoothly, is just a part of it. But I'm going to see what if the motor is going to hit this. Hit that thing, and probably maybe a bad thing. It will happen. I don't know. I've never tried it before. It might be fine. I'm not sure whether the bounding box is going to be quite that sensitive. But you could definitely hit the sides of this of these walls here. It looks like we're okay. It takes a while. It takes about 2 minutes, I think, a full 2 or 3 minutes for this elevator to get all the way down. But it certainly increases the immersion. And then I can teleport into the hangar, but I'm not going to. I think that means teleporting the plane itself. Maybe we'll try it. Yeah. But there is this kind of weird bug. You can see where the plane is really jerking around. It's just because it looks like it's moving smooth, but to the plane, it's not. And I think that's a flight simulator issue. But we've got water effects and stuff like that. Let's take a look around. Let me just get onto free movement mode here. So you can see all the other planes here. There's a AWACS plane. We'll see another plane. You got 78, nice brightly lit up there, and neon. A bunch more AWACS planes. Another, F-15s and 14s with their wings folded. Let's see, we're still moving down on this elevator here, and we're not quite there, but eventually we're going to be able to check out the hangar. Again, I have actually driven planes in there. It's not that big a deal. Oh, you can see the front of it here. It's kind of cool. You see the massive anchor there. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's 2. There's one on this side too. Yeah, at least 2 anchors needed for this big thing. And there's your elevator, plane elevator. So, all right, let's check out the hangar. We can go in here. You can see this is the hangar. Lots of little planes hanging out. There's again these AWACS. So this is what you'd use to attach to a plane and move it around in the hangar. They don't use on their own power. Again, those beautiful AWACS planes. A whole bunch of these. This is the rear elevator in the up position. So you can see that it's top. There's a front elevator and a back elevator. And, oh yeah, there's an elevator on this side too. So there's 3 elevators total. And that's the hangar. Apparently, I bet it looks a lot like this too. I mean, it's big. You can't get this sense of scale, but your little person wouldn't be very tall. Well, you can kind of get a feeling for how big people are. And that's our mission for today. So I guess if I click teleport hangar, does that mean teleport the plane to the hangar? Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, because if you see now, you can see now that the plane has been moved into the hangar for us. And that's what it looks like. Again, if I didn't fold the wings, it would not fit down here. But as it is, you can fit a bunch of these down here, which is pretty cool. All right, we're going to finish the simulation today. And by the way, now that I realize I have the Miltech Carrier control panel, we can definitely do this thing here. And basically what happens is, as you approach, it automatically will, you know, it'd say call the ball, you know, in those movies. This is the ball. This is, you know, it'll tell you where you are in terms of your glide slope onto the back of that carrier. And it's pretty cool. So, and some planes are a lot easier to do than others. Actually, the plane I have, the version of the Spitfire that lands on carriers called the Seafire. That one's one of the easier ones, I think. So I might try it, but I do want to do an arrestor landing. An arrestor landing meaning, can we actually, hold on a second here. Arrestor landing, you land here and these cables are kind of glowy, but that's because they will actually deform. You got your hook down, you're coming in from there, blah, blah, blah. You want to hit the middle one if you can, it's hard. And then you hit that and it slows you down. It also has these steam catapult assisted takeoff system. It's got quite a bit of stuff that we really need to play with. So so we'll definitely be playing with the aircraft carriers a lot more in the next couple of days and next couple of flights, and who knows when, you know, just as I feel like it. All right, but I do have lots more content I want to get to. Lots more content. We're gonna be streaming for at least another hour and a half, I think, at this point. Let me switch over just chatting. I'm going to just chatting, please. I'm going to do some big brain games. I do these every time. It's just something I like to do on a daily basis, so I figured I might as well integrate it into my streaming routine. Okay, here we go. So let me bring to just my face cam here. I quit out of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Main menu. But we had a good time. I did land on the carrier. It wasn't that bad. I think that I'm getting the hang of flying that Osprey. And it's a tricky one. I mean, and again, you got to keep in practice. It's taken a long time. I did not have a hang of it early on. All right, next thing we're going to do is bring up the big brain games. It's me playing a Quirtle, the Reveal, the Tightrope Trivia, and 2 Octurtles. Why that sequence and what's magic about that? Nothing magic about it, just the way I like to do things. And again, if some people like this content, but other people are like, well, you're spoiling it. I'm going to play this later, so I get it. But it is what it is. Hey, I always do it around the same time. If you don't want to have your daily Quirtle spoiled. All right, how about the lower left? Could that be bunch? Because if it is, that'll give us the H. All right. Well, H wasn't used anywhere else, but it was bunch. All right, this one here, upper left, could it be twice? Can that be twice? Ooh, it couldn't. It could have been twice, but it wasn't. Oh, no, it couldn't have been twice. E, not at the end. Oof. All right. Okay. But this lower right one, I'm going to try baited. Oof. I'm doing bad today. That's all right. That's what I don't do great every single time. This one on the upper right, how about fudge? Come on. It could be fudge. Just give me, let's get lucky. Let's get lucky one time. Fudge. It's going to be fudge, right? Wasn't fudge. Well, we're not going to get today's game. That's for sure. But that's fine. There's always tomorrow. So what is this one? It's begat on the lower right. So we'll get 2 of them. And this one here is going to be evict. But we didn't quite get it because we didn't get judge. All right, the next game is the revealed. I don't, I get most of them, but not all of them. And that's what makes them fun. If I got them every time, that would be too easy. Today's revealed answer is going to be in the animals and nature category. It's a 7-letter word. So we have this thing, and then probably it's Latin designation. Refers to the family of some blank species of blank, 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 found in most blank and blank, blank, that have special blank, blank on the underside of the blank. Most blank are blank, although some species are blank. Oof. They are blank, blank that range from blank up to blank in length. The blank blank or blank blank is often marked with blank or blank. Some adult blank do not blank, whereas many blank on blank blank. In a few species, blank blank. This is some kind of thing, animal. Well, they're usually blank has that. Okay, so let's see. Species of something. Beetles. Special something on the underside of the something. Beetles. I'm going to make a wild guess. It wasn't ladybug. Especially the underside. Most of them are something. Let's see what they are. This. Nocturnal. All right, what's this letter? I. Wow, what can this? I'm not really. In a few species, blank are blank on blank of other species, of other blank species. Both blank are. Okay, I want to see the Latin name. I might have to cheat. Oh, Lampyridae. Lampyridae. That is familiar. What? I know that word. I know that word, but what is it? And I know it's kind of a cheat, but I should know what that is. Yeah, I did kind of know that. It makes sense too. It's a firefly, and because it has the lamp in it. But yeah, I'm familiar with that. All right, let's move on. It's actually a beetle, a flying beetle. All right, see the results here. I don't know about this game. There's your firefly. We don't have them around here. That was kind of a, it wasn't that easy. It wasn't that hard, but it required somewhat more reveals. All right, let's move on to the trivia quiz. This is getting to be the second to the hardest trivia quiz. It's a 9-question, multiple choice timed trivia quiz. I consider myself a trivia master, although that's just my own thing. So I like to get them, but they get harder during the weeks. Tomorrow's will be the hardest. This is the second hardest. And it's time. So once we hit that play button, we got to get these fast. Your time component is a huge part of your score. So let's get going. Adding to its career is taxi driver. Again, if I know them, I'm going to get them. I'm going to do them fast. But if I don't, I might have to do process of elimination. I mean, Polo is Ralph Lauren. Bajaversary, Mountain Dew. Which chain? Gelato. Dairy Queen? Oh, Taco Bell. That makes more sense. Baja. Shoot. That wasn't a good guess. All right. Fake beard. Boy, that was a complete guess. I must have, maybe I heard that somewhere. Sewing machine. Orange with a blank to help remember a mnemonic. Vocabulary I'm going to get. Let's see. Turning point is what country? The Soviet Union. Fortunately, I have a little bit of World War II history in me. That one's not going to be too hard. It says an arm span more than 7 feet wide. The orangutan? Wow. Yeah, they're big. Santa Monica, California, and Chicago. I know about that too. Route 66. We fly on Route 66 at my Amboy Airport add-on. All right, 8 out of 9. I'm gonna have to. And I was pretty fast, so we got a good time bonus, and we got a difficulty bonus too. So we should get over 2,000. There we go. All right, Walking Encyclopedia. I'm gonna have to accept that. It's not the highest rating, but it's good enough. And we got 2 more games to go, and then I'm gonna be playing music. We're gonna switch to the musical category, and I'm gonna be playing this Fender Telecaster guitar. I don't know. I'm just going to be dinking around on it. I'm going to be doing some karaoke. I'm going to be singing along and playing at the same time, which is kind of unusual. Oh, look at that. We have climb. We just, my 3 standard starting words for these games gave us climb. That's good. Let's see. Well, that's easy enough. What else do we have? Scout on the lower right here. I don't think it could be too many other things. Then we have, let's see, on the lower left, it's got to be snare because there's an S and an R. Because it can't be strain. Okay, so ooh, this one's going to be hard. That could be a lot of things. Lower right, though, we have a T and an M and O and an E. So we have... what is it, though? Because, let's see, after the R... O-term, O-T-E-R-M, but it can't be. So the M isn't the end, the R isn't the end, the E isn't the end. So the R is, the O isn't the O at the end, I think. So Metro. Took me a while to figure that one out. But we're moving along. Eventually there'll be one more game after this, the rescue. That's the hard one. This is kind of the warm-up. Here we get curly right off the bat here. We got, let's see, what else is going to be easy. Something I-L-L-Y. So like Philly. Let's try Philly. Could be a few things. Let's try Philly. Because it's Philly, it'll give us the F. It did. Okay, it eliminated the F. That's fine. This one here could be, on the lower left, could be tarot. Tarot. Thank you. All right, we're moving along. We only got one more to go. 5. All right, this is the one I was going to say was going to be hard. Let's see. What could this be? Let's see. This could be hard. Evoke. Maybe it's not going to be hard. It was Evoke. All right, figured it out. All right, we got one more game to play, and then take my short break, head to the musical category. Still quite a bit of Diet Coke left, but it's going to, you know, it has to last 2 hours. Lots of stuff to do here. All right, the rescue. That's the last game I like to play. I actually play all the others. The rescue is hard because I don't get to use my 3 powerful starting words. It gives you 4 random words that it randomly picked out of nowhere. Its dictionary, I guess. But let's see. This lower right hand one, I'm gonna guess is 3. Oh no, it can't be 3 because there's no E there, but there's 2 E's. Okay, so it's T-E-R something. So I think it's going to be terse. That's good. We needed that S in a couple of places, it looks like. And this is, looks like now it's going to be sorry on the lower left there. And where else is that S used? Oh, up here. Okay. And this one here. I'm going to guess upper right, milky. Just to use some good words, and it was perfect. We needed the M. The M gave us something. Down here, interesting. So, this could be room more. And it is, very good. All right, we're making progress. We got 4 down, 4 left to go. This one here, we know where the R is. There's an L and a T and a U. I'm going to guess blurt, B-L-U-R-T. You can go there, the L can go here, and B is available. I like it. All right, B was not used anywhere else, that's fine. At least we got the blurt. And now we know it's R-O-U something, but all these other words are, all these other letters are things. So, but it could be rough, R-O-U-G-H, right? Awesome. That gave us the H finally. We've got 2 left to go here. Oh, this one's going to be easy. R-O something D, R-O-D-E something, right? It's got to be R-O-D-E-O, rodeo. And that leaves us with 2 guesses and 1 word. But let's see. What could this be? It doesn't have any. Oh, it could have an A in it. So it could be A-S-E. But it has that H. It could be phase. P-H-A-S-E. I like it too. Ye win. We won the rescue. We did pretty good on the brain games today. I'm going to have to say the brain is fully operational. That's about as good as it gets, really. I mean, I didn't get all 9 on the tightrope, but that was a pretty hard one. And I, you know, the one I didn't get, I was like, yeah, I probably wouldn't have got that one. Without knowing in advance. But I got all the others. That's 8 out of 9. All right, a little Diet Coke here. We're going to switch to the mid-roll. When we come back, we're going to be in the musical category. I'm going to have my guitars in my hands, and we're going to talk about guitars and play guitars and that kind of thing. It's, by all means, extremely skippable content. All right. instrument camera. Into view. There we go. You can see my instrument while you can see me, my amazing face. Is what it is. All right. This is my Fender Telecaster. It is a real Telecaster. It's not like some kind of off-brand or something like that. It's not made in America. This is made in the Fender's own. Fender owns a pretty large guitar manufacturing concern in Baja California, Tijuana area, Ensenada, I think. So the American factory is located in Corona, California, and the Mexican factory is located in Tijuana. They're real close to each other, but the ones you buy from Tijuana are much cheaper. But they're real Fenders. They're not Squires or anything. So I went through a phase where I was in guitar. I wanted a Stratocaster and a Telecaster, and they came out with these Swirl models, and these were very limited, just a few hundred of these. Each one is an individually dipped body. And I have my, if you see my Strat, it also looks pretty wild. I picked this pick out for it, because I think that's the one that's closest to have kind of a swirly pattern of all the picks I have. And each one of them is completely unique. And not the color scheme. The colors that they use to produce them are the same, but the way they got swirled and the way they looked. So I was able to pick out from a group of four of Telecasters and 4 Stratocasters online which one I wanted, and these are the ones I got, and they're really good. You can't buy these anymore, and they're not really very they don't appear on the secondary market because, again, only a few hundred of these got made, and then they stopped doing these kind of weird custom finishes. Now they just do the standard finishes. There was a period of time when they had all these like silk screen stuff on the front. They were very, very innovative, not necessarily innovative, but artistic and wild designs for the front of the guitars. But then they stopped doing that. They were, they weren't good for the brand, in my opinion. So this morning I just put new strings on this. So I'm still kind of stretching the strings in. Thanks for, I wasn't sure who was listening to the story, but yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, these guitars were only, they were the same price as the standard models. $500 at the time. They're about $800 now, I think. But it was like $50 more for a, this really cool special finish. It's not a vintage model. It's not fancy. I made some changes. So it didn't originally come with this humbucker pickup here. It came with the standard Telecaster lipstick pickup, which I didn't like. So basically pretty easy. You can just take out the pick guard. I bought a new pick guard. It was already routed for a bigger pickup back there. So I bought it's a lace, Chinese-made lace pickup, and it sounds a lot better. But I still mainly am using, like most people playing the Telecaster, you're mainly playing just what we call the bridge pickup down there. That's where you get the snap from. What's so special about the the Telecaster? I like to talk about this. This is basically the first designed guitar that was designed, electric guitar that was designed to have a solid body, so it required amplification. that was kind of innovative as it was, but there were solid body guitars. But more importantly, this guitar was designed by a manufacturer, Leo Fender. He wasn't a musician, he wasn't a guitar player, but he liked packaging and creating products. He was a product engineer, really, more than anything else. Although he's also really good at making tube amps. But he figured out how to make an assembly line so you could make many guitars much cheaper than ever before. He basically applied the Henry Ford principle of assembly line. So what he did was, he first of all, it wasn't that common to have a bolt-on neck back then, but he did that. So the point is, the neck is a separate assembly, the body is a separate assembly, the pick and the pick guard with the electronics in here can be assembled separately by people who are soldering wires together and putting this together. And so you have 3 separate assembly lines. One is producing necks, one's producing bodies, finished necks, and finished electronics packages, the pickups. And then you have a 4th assembly line, which is taking a body, a neck, an electronics package, and other little pieces of hardware and a set of strings, and building a guitar from them. That was really innovative. Before then, you had one guy who would start with a piece of wood and end up with a guitar, and he'd be a luthier, a guitar maker. But Leo Fender said, well, what if we turn this into assembly line progress, and then the people who are doing it can be less skilled. All they need to know is how to make a neck. They don't need to know how to make a whole guitar. So he was able to make the Telecaster and later the Stratocaster for less money. He was trying to sell amps, but he figured if he wanted to sell a lot of modified guitar tube amps to people, he should sell a lot of guitars too, and then they need to buy amps. That's why he wanted to make an inexpensive electric guitar. He wasn't into selling guitars, but he figured, hey, everyone who buys one of these guitars is going to need one of my amps. I listen to the wind of my soul. Where I'll end up, well, I think only God really knows. I sat upon the burning sun. I never I never needed water once. No, never. I listen to my words, but they fall far below. I let my music take me where my heart wants to go. I swam upon the devil's lake. I'll never I'll never make the same mistake. I'll never Little Cat Stevens, The Wind. Great little song, too. Tune up again. I just put new strings on, so I'm going to have to tune a bunch. Close enough, I think. Right, so I did some modifications. The other modification I was going to say I did was I added these special string. There's some string trees there, these little things that hold the strings down. I changed those out. I changed the tuners to locking tuners, Fender locking tuners. It makes the changing the strings really fast and easy. Oh, we got multiple people trying to sell me cheap viewers. Hold on a second here. Not multiple, same guy. It doesn't matter. All right, so where are we? Oh yeah, I want to play a few more songs. A little warm up here. Okay, ready? On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas, rising up pretty hair. Love ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. As she stood in the doorway, I heard the mission bell, and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle, and she showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor, I thought I heard them say, hey, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. There's plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here. Mirrors on the ceiling, pink champagne on ice. She said, we are all just wait. Are they doing this? Wait. I gotta, what are the lyrics? That's the third verse. Hold on a second. What is it? The second one starts. It's. Shit, I was trying to memorize this. Oh, come on, computer. Yeah, it's her. It's her mind is Tiffany twisted. She got the Mercedes Benz. She got a lot of pretty boys she calls friends. How she dance in the courtyard, sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember, some dance to forget. So I called up the captain, please bring me my wine. We haven't had that spirit here since 1969. And still those voices are calling from far away. Wake you up in the middle of the night, or just to hear them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Living it up at the Hotel California. Anytime, what a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Mirrors on the ceiling, pink champagne on ice. And she says, we are all just prisoners here of our own device. And in our master's chambers, gathered for the feasts. They can't stab it with their stealing knives, but they just can't kill the beef. Last thing I remember was coming for the door. Had to find the passage back to the place I was before. Relax, said the night man, we are programmed to receive. There, check out any time you like, but you can never leave. I'm not doing the solo. This is YouTube on the solo. Goes on for a while. But you know, it is what it is. I like singing the song, and you know, it's a 6-minute song. You do have to do the whole solo. I'm not gonna do that. All right, I am going to switch over to do some karaoke because it's part of my dealio. I'm going to just get that set up for you. All right, this is a good starting song here. It's my patented thing. I mean, a lot of people do the karaoke thing on stream. That's fine. But not that many do the play along and sing along. As far as I know, not too many. I like this song. It's by the Counting Crows. It's from Shrek 2, I think. You know, not the original Shrek. It's still one of those Shreks. So she said, what's the problem, baby? What's the problem? I don't know. Well, maybe I'm in love. Think about it every time I think about it. Yes, I'm thinking about it. How much longer will it take to do this? Just to cure it, 'cause I can't ignore it. If it's love, makes me wanna turn around and face me, but I don't know nothing about love. Oh, come on, turn a little faster. Come on, world will follow after. Come on, 'cause everybody's after love. I'm a snowball running down into the spring that's coming. All this love melting under blue skies, melting out the sunlight, shimmering light. Well, baby, I surrender to the strawberry ice cream, never end up all of this stuff. Well, I didn't mean to do it, but there's no escaping your love. Oh, these lines of lightning mean we're never alone, never alone. No, no, come on, move a little closer. Come on, I wanna hear you whisper. Come on, settle down inside my love. Come on, jump a little higher. Come on, feel a little lighter. Come on, we were once upon a time in love. Accidentally 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 in love. Accidentally. I'm in love. 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 Accidentally. I'm in love. 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 Accidentally. Come on, swing a little tighter. Come on, world's a little brighter. Come on, get stuff inside of her love. I'm in love. Come on, feel a little louder. Come on, it's a Accidentally in love. I do like the song. All right, the standard Wonderwall at this point in time of my life. Hopefully, to Oasis will finish touring. And you know, we'll move on. Today gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. And now should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do, but you know. Back me, the word is on the street, but the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt.
You're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, if I wonder why, I said, baby, gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, if I wonder why, say baby, gonna be the one that saves me. You're gonna be the one that saves me. You're gonna be the one that saves me.
I like that. I don't know. Maybe I'll never get sick of Wonderwall. That would be a shock.
Oh, life bigger, bigger than you, and you are not me. Place that I will go to, distance in your eyes. Oh no, I've cared too much. Set it up. That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight, losing my religion, trying to keep up with you. And I don't know if I can do it. Oh no, I've said too much. Haven't said enough. Thought that I heard you laughing. Thought that I heard you sing. I think I thought I saw you try. Every whisper of every waking hour, I'm choosing my confessions, trying to keep an eye on you. Like I had lost a lot of the oval. Oh no, I've said too much. I've set it up. Consider this. Consider this. Hint of the century. Consider this. The sled brought me to my knees, babe. What if all these fantasies come flailing around? Now I've said too much. Thought that I heard you laughing. Thought that I heard you sing. I think I thought I just a dream, just a dream, just a dream.
Thank you, 003. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming by. As everybody makes nice comments. I'm just doing my thing I like to do. I'm really practicing
Sinking.
so that I can do. Should we just skip to Breakfast at Tiffany's? You know, I kind of think I'm going to skip that one too. I don't have too many more in me. Practicing so that when I go do karaoke next month at TwitchCon, I'll be able to kick everyone except for Leah Ayame's ass. She has an amazing ass and also an incredible singing voice. So I don't know if you know who that is, but say somebody, it's a member of the community, comes by occasionally. She also is a streamer, Leah. We'll see, probably.
You'll say we got nothing in common, common ground to start from, and we're falling apart. You'll say the world has come between us, our lives have come between us. Still I know you just don't care. And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany's? She said, I think I remember the film, and as I recall, I think we both kinda liked it. And I said, well, that's the one thing that we've got. I see you, the only one who knew me. Now your eyes see through me. Is that I was wrong? So what now? They do see we're over. Hate when things are over. Too much is left undone. And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany's? She said, I think I remember the film, and as I recall, I think we both kinda liked it. And I said, well, that's one thing that we've got. You'll see, we've got nothing in common, common ground to start from, and we're falling apart. You'll say the world has come between us, lives have come between us. And I know you just don't care. And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany's? She said, I think I remember the film, and as I recall, I think we both kinda liked it. And I said, well, that's one thing that we've got. Oh, and I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany's? She said, I think I remember the film, and as I recall, I think we both kinda liked it. And I said, well, that's the one thing that we've got. And I said, what about a breakfast at Tiffany's? She said, I think I remember the film, and as I recall, I think we both kinda liked it. And I said, well, that's the one thing that we've got.
only doing a little bit, which is playing a Jim Croce song that I don't know how to play the guitar. It doesn't matter to me. Which one is the one I like to do? I have to say I love you in a have to say I love you in a song. Let's try this one. But I don't know how to play it, but that's okay. I like singing it. Really, Jim Croce is something I just love. Such a great song too. My all-time greatest songs ever, I think. Top 10 favorite songs ever.
Well, I know it's kinda late. I hope I didn't wake you. But what I've got to say can't wait. I know you'd understand. 'Cause every time I tried to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. Yeah, I know it's kind of strange. Every time I'm near you, I just run out of things to say. I know you understand. 'Cause every time I try to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. Every time the time was right, all the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. Yeah, I know it's kinda late. Hope I didn't wake you. But there's something I just gotta say. Know you'd understand. 'Cause every time I tried to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song.
All right, I think I can sing Amy. Put my tape. But I'm getting on with this. Is relatively important. Little minuscule.
I can see why you think you belong to me. I never tried to make you think. Let you see one thing for yourself. And act you're off with someone else when I'm alone. Yeah, I thought that I might keep you for my own. Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Don't you think the time was right for us to find all the things we thought weren't proper? Could be right in time and see which way we should turn together or alone. I can never see what's right or what is wrong. Don't take too long to see me. Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. you. Falling in love with you. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I keep falling in love with you. It is. I think my voice is done for today, but I always try to kick my butt vocally. This is the 2013. I guess you were probably listening earlier and maybe or heard some of the things, but this is a 2013. It says made in Mexico, 2013 special edition Fender Telecaster. So I got the Telecaster and a Stratocaster. Telecaster there. Special editions on the back. Special edition refers to this unusual paint job. They don't really make a lot of these one-of-a-kind paint jobs. There were a few that looked a little like this, but and the cool thing, this is made in a dipping process. So they take the body, they attach it to a stick, basically. They the neck's not on it, nothing's on it. It's primed in white, off-white, which you can still kind of see in certain places. And then they take a barrel, fill it with water, and they put oil paints on the top. And they do it, they have to do this process, and they dip the whole body in, and then when it comes out, the oil-based paint adheres to the body, and then they let it dry. It's a really, it's this technique they used to make bowling balls and things like that. But it results in, they swirl the paint around on the surface of the water. The oil-based paint floats, and then it adheres to the body. So it's a really fun and interesting technique. And there's actually, I think, a YouTube video that shows them making this style of guitar body in Mexico, and again they just made a few hundred each of these, and then they're done with them. They don't do this anymore. And I'm like, I want one of these, and they're called the Swirl. So if you look up, you can try to buy, go in Reverb, you can buy a Telecaster Swirl or a Stratocaster Swirl. Sometimes they come up, but they not very often, because most people, I guess, want to keep them. It's a great Telecaster. By the way, playing the Telecaster reminds me of why it's such an early model. Give me 1 second here. Switch it back over here. That reverb, that reverb is just on my mixer. I use that to help me sing better. As you know, I don't know if you're listening to Common Crazy, but yeah, you do the same thing. A lot of reverb really helps the singing. No reverb, try to sing dry. It's just like, I can't, I'm not in key. There's a biological reason that has to do with your audio, your audio system, your brain's audio system, because your audio system is designed to tune out frequencies that occur while you're talking, so you can hear so while you're talking you can hear other people, so it cancels out vibrations that come through via the bone vibrations. And that's why the reverb gets through, even though your actual singing voice is canceled out by your ear and you can't hear it very well. It's a complicated but actual true fact. That's why J200s are nice. You have a 90s Telecaster. Well, this is a 2000, yeah. Those are both, yeah, they're both, 90s. I was going to say, the thing about the Telecaster was it was an early guitar. One thing I noticed right away after playing a lot of other guitars is it's less comfortable to play. And that's because it's this square edge here. As soon as I put my elbow down to start playing on the guitar on this little piece here, I'm like, oh yeah, my other guitars, including the Strats, have a contour there, and for long periods of time it's much easier to hold them like that. And it's just that was one of the improvements that Leo Fender made when he asked people. He said, well, what should I do to improve the comfort and ergonomics when I make my next guitar? It ended up being the Stratocaster. And they said, yeah, can you cut away some wood here so that this edge isn't so painful? And also it didn't have a belly cut here, and you can feel this too. Newer guitar designs have a belly cut, what we call a belly cut, which I need because I got a belly. And yeah, you can also feel that it's a little less comfortable to hold against your body than a Stratocaster would be because of the belly cuts. But I still love playing Telecaster. It's the original 1950, early 50s era design. Hasn't changed much since the 50s. Basically 70 years of the same design. It's always pretty impressive when they can get that done. Yeah, headphones too, really comfortable. All right, well, I've been here for like an hour or 2 hours and 15 minutes. I like a heavy caster. Yeah, they are a beast to wear. And yeah, I wouldn't call it super heavy, but the issue is that because it doesn't have those body cuts and comfort and ergonomic feeling, it's just not quite as comfortable to play as other guitars. And only after an hour or two of holding it is it really going to be an issue. And again, it doesn't really bother. I don't even notice it. Once I start playing, I don't notice it. And this one is really well. I like the maple. This is the only guitar I have that has a maple neck. Doesn't have a rosewood on top of it. So that makes it kind of unique, and it looks cool, and it does play really nice. I really find the neck fun to play. I just put a new set of strings on it today, so they're still kind of working their way in. But that was fun. Anyway, 2 hours is my limit, but I like to go. Yeah, the pick matches, and
That pick, yes, it's a swirly pick. It's my only swirly pick. I've got a bunch of those. Yeah, it's a swirly pick, and I always like to try to get reasonably matching straps. So I mean, if it's a Fender guitar and it's kind of got that blue, they make this Fender strap in blue, and I kind of matches. It's not really, it doesn't have the psychedelic aspect to it. But this is a really comfortable, highly adjustable strap that is not very expensive, and I recommend, for any guitar, but for a Fender. But my other guitars, I kind of like try to match the strap to the aesthetic of the guitar. But no, so it's a great one. As I said, I've made some modifications to it. This is not the original pickup. I put a humbucker in there. I had fun with it. I actually opened it up and soldered stuff in there. So I wasn't afraid to mess it up. But anyway, the point is I like to, stream for a couple hours, and that will leave me plenty of gas in the tank for tomorrow's stream and the day after stream. I like to, 5 days a week. Tomorrow's stream will be starting around 11:30 a.m. my time. I don't know what time it's going to start your time. Yeah, I hope you too. I'll probably catch you later. I know you like to stream a little later today. And maybe, hopefully, if you fly around, I will try to catch you on, get on the server and fly around a bit with you. It depends. Kind of sometimes in the afternoons I'm kind of doing other stuff, so not always fully online. But anyway, tomorrow's stream right around the same time. Again, I don't know what your time period is, but it's 11:30 a.m. for me. I'll be flying around a Microsoft Flight Simulator for an hour. We're gonna do some big brain games. Oh, you're doing a movie tonight? Okay, movie night. That's always fun. In Discord or just on the screen? Huh. Okay. That's a fun idea. You have a lot of fun ideas. I would steal them, but I'm pretty fixed in how my that's cool. I'm pretty fixed in how my streams go. I don't plan on changing them, even if I see something really good that somebody else is doing that I want to do. Even my early streams, I've been doing this for 2 years. My early streams, I was doing them 7 days a week. Earliest streams, you can go back and you can find them on YouTube. Very similar content. I didn't do the big brain games, it took me a while to have my intro, get my intro and my mid roll together and my outro things together. But other than that, they've been the same. Flight Simulator, and then alternate between Guitar Day and Piano Day. Today was Guitar Day. Tomorrow was gonna be Piano Day, and that means we shall be. Am I getting framey? It's hard to tell. Probably fine. I'm gonna check the VOD later. It doesn't show any drop frames, so I think we're okay. Tomorrow's going to be Piano Day. It means I'm going to take my piano. I'm going to drag it in here. It's going to be Ken's Piano Lounge. That's a nice vibe. It'll be a Sunday afternoon Ken's Piano Lounge performance. So Vince Guaraldi night. Yeah, we'll play Vince Guaraldi. We're going to play Peanuts, those Peanuts things that I played. I have 2 Vince Guaraldis I play. Vince Guaraldi does not have a lot of music outside his most famous pieces, by the way. He's well known as being a San Francisco jazz man, but and that album, the Peanuts album, is considered one of the most popular, successful jazz albums of all time, if not the most, apparently, in terms of sales. Because there was a time when everybody had that. Every single human being that I know of had that Vince Guaraldi album, with the Peanuts stuff on it, because everyone loved Peanuts music. So anyway, and I did too. And I play that. Sometimes I'll play that on the piano, and people are like, "Oh, that's so nostalgic," that takes me back. And and a lot of people certainly from that age group know the Peanuts music. So I'll be doing that. I'll be playing some jazzy stuff, my jazz standards. We'll play Misty. We're going to play I Can See Clearly Now. We're going to do, I got a piece of paper with that 30 or 40 songs on it, and we're going to run through some of those, as many as I can. Got to keep the fingers limber. I feel like my fingers are where the songs are, that they're in the fingers, not in the head. So I got to let my fingers express themselves by playing the piano, which we'll do tomorrow. But again, thanks for everyone. A lot of people came by today. It was said we had some really interesting interactions today on YouTube. YouTube is usually where kind of people I've never heard of before are going to come and say hi. Whereas Twitch, it's people who I probably know them, or they know me, or there's other streamers, that kind of thing. But on YouTube, there'll be some random who got recommended my stream, and I always think it's funny. They come in and sometimes want to talk and chat and things like that. So today we had a teenager who first wanted to prank us. Then when they realized they couldn't prank us, they wanted to know what they should do with their lives, which I think is kind of heavy responsibility when a teenager you don't know, asks you what they're supposed to do with their life. That's always interesting. You can check it out. It's earlier in the stream. All right. Again, I'm going to run my outro. And again, such a wonderful time today. I'm going to do the whole thing again tomorrow. I have such a great time streaming. I get excited for the stream, and then I kind of sad when it's over. And I want to keep it that way, so that otherwise I wouldn't bother, because I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this just because I like doing it. But I'm going to keep doing it because I like it. All right, see you next time.